Do you have a ton of questions about the Florida real estate market? You're hearing crazy things. You're hearing inventory is up 1,000%, that we're getting ready to crash, that it's going to be just like 2008. Just crazy amount of information that's out there right now. So if you want the lowdown on what's really going on in the real estate market, not that I'm the expert of all experts, but I've been doing this a long, long time, and I can kind of walk you through exactly what's going on. And hey, by the way, my name is John Bice. I'm with eXp Real Estate and the Florida for Boomers Network here in the Sarasota, Florida area. So we sell all of Manatee in Sarasota County, from Parrish to Lakewood Ranch, Sarasota, Nokomis, Osprey, Venice, all the way down to Inglewood. So if you need information on properties, about the real estate market, I market to baby boomers. I put out videos like this one 2 to 3 times a week with great information to help you make wise decisions about buying or selling a home here in this market. So subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and you'll get a notification when I put out one of my videos. It's free. I'm not going to call you. I don't know who you are unless you contact me first. So, it's great information. So I just watched a video of a young man claiming that we're heading into what we saw in 2008. So I'm guessing, but I'm going to say that the young man that did the video in 2008, he was probably 12, something like that. So I'm pretty sure he wasn't a homeowner back then. Put out a lot of crazy information. He's walking a community in Cape Coral. Homes are on septic tanks, which probably means they're on a well. Power lines running through the front yards. Very far south, which is, I tell everybody, if you're in that Fort Myers south area down to Naples, guess who gets hit first when a hurricane comes up this way from like Cuba? Yes, exactly. So comparing a community in that area on septic tanks, power lines in the front yard, probably on well water, probably not a great comparison, and say Florida is headed for 2008. So what happened in 2008? I was actually an appraiser in 2008. What happened? Well, if you back up all the way to 2004 and 5, they had this great idea of basically giving money away. There were things back then, no documentation loans. You could get a mortgage just saying, I make $100,000 a year. Great. You had people going out and buying second homes. You had people buying investment properties. You had people who tried to rent their current home and go out and buy something huge. It was crazy. You, as an appraiser, you would see a home that sold 6 or 8 months previously and put back on the market for $80,000 to $100,000 more, and people were buying it. It was the wild, wild west. There were no controls. People were out of control. So what happened? Certainly not our market right now, but what happened? That had to stop. They put the brakes on, and all of a sudden people were like saying, oh my gosh, what's going on? And as typical for Americans, we don't buy when the market is down. We wait till the market is absolutely at the peak, the highest it's ever been. And somebody tells us, oh, this is a great time. And you buy at the top, and then prices start coming down. And that's exactly what happened. People were nuts and buying up all kinds of stuff with money they didn't have and they couldn't afford to pay back. So then as prices started to fall, people were sitting in these houses and going, wait, I paid $800,000 for this, and my neighbor just sold for $625,000. Hang on, I'm not going to make payments anymore because my house is not worth $800,000. And we had that everywhere. For a while in Lakewood Ranch, you couldn't put a for sale sign up because there were so many homes on the market. crazy, completely different from what we have now. What did we have? We had the COVID frenzy, okay? The lockdowns. Everybody started running to Florida, right? To get away from the lockdowns and coming here. So why, if let's say our inventory is up 1,000%, why is it up 1,000%? Because for a while, our resale inventory, we were less than 2 weeks of resale inventory. What happened? Everybody rushed down here and bought up resales. And then the builders got flooded and couldn't keep up. They couldn't get enough supplies. They couldn't get enough workers. It wasn't a shortage like we didn't have it in the country. It was the demand because there were no resales. So everybody was going to go buy new construction. I told people during that time in mid 2021 to March of 2022, don't come down here unless you want to drastically overpay. You want to be on a waiting list for a builder. You pretty much had to be a cash buyer. I mean, there were mortgages back then, but cash was absolute king at that point because these homes probably weren't going to appraise. So that's what drove our prices in this area. This is no scientific fact, but I heard our prices had escalated 28% from where they were. So what happened? As our inventory of resales slowly started building back up, and the builders continue to flood the market, they got tired of waiting for people to build a home. So they started doing spec homes, we call it. They're building on the lot that they choose, the model that they choose, the upgrades that they choose. And you come along and say, yeah, I like that home. I'll buy it. This is the price. Okay. So they have flooded the market because they're caught up. They have the appliances, they have the concrete block, they have the workers. So they are flooding the market with inventory. All right. There's a Del Webb Bayview in Parrish. There are 40 homes on the market, and I think there's 2 resales. The builder has all the rest of them, and that's everything. That's villas and single family homes. So that's really what happened. And a vast majority of our market is still, probably 50% of our market is still cash buyers. So they can't stop making payments because, they paid cash for it. So that's another reason you want a great buyer's representative to work with you, because they're going to evaluate the property that you're interested in to make sure you're not drastically overpaying for that home. They should be able to evaluate it, show you the community, show you the turnover rate in the community, what's the absorption rate, how many days on market is average, what are they asking price per square foot. They should be able to spit all this out to you immediately. And if they can't do that, you probably want to find somebody who can. I would highly recommend that. So I'm going to show you, just to kind of validate my point, I'm going to show you 3 homes that we currently have on the market, because everybody is crying, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's not so bad. People are still buying. We just have inventory. People who had or have low interest rates got tired of waiting. Our population is aging. I'm a perfect example. Baby boomers are moving here. 10,000 per day retire, want to come to Florida. So we have a turnover. We have that older generation that are moving on, maybe passing, maybe moving into a retirement community, maybe moving to be closer to family. And we have the baby boomers coming in. We have families coming in. First-time homebuyer market is crazy right now. Believe it or not, it is, because people are sick of paying crazy rental prices. I talked to an agent the other day. They have a home that they own that they rent out for $4,500 a month for rent. That's double my mortgage payment. I don't get that, but people are getting tired of doing that. So anyway, let's get to this house. This is down in Osprey, which is just south of Sarasota. Osprey, Nokomis, Venice, that area. Beautiful community. It's called South Creek. Perfect example of our market right now. This is the only home that was on the market in that community. The only, and it's a very popular gated community. Waterfront homes. They're one block over to the water. This home was built in 1998. It's the original owners and the original inside condition, but they had it on the market. They priced it correctly. They got an offer, and we are under contract, a cash offer. So we are under contract. It'll be closing at the end of this month. But again, that's a perfect example, the only home in this community that's on the market. Okay, so that's one. So I wanted to show you that one. We have one in Del Webb, Lakewood Ranch. Okay, no more new construction, but beautiful home, original owner. Again, I sold their home where they were living. I helped them pick out this particular model, helped them pick out this lot, which is really pretty spectacular because nobody next door to you. Beautiful little pond view. Clubhouse is right over here. Really, really nice location. Really, really nice house. This was priced at $1.2 million, 10 days on the market, and we had it sold. Cash buyer. Okay, so homes are selling. Very popular floor plan, 3-car garage, pool home on a pond, nobody next door, nice upgrades to it. Okay, so homes are selling. In that particular Del Webb, I think there are 30 homes on the market in there, and there's no new construction. So why is that? People move here, they have second homes. A lot of people with second homes are saying, you know what? Our insurance rates have gone up. The taxes are going up because we cannot homestead. If you are not a resident of the state of Florida, you cannot homestead. I had a guy tell me the other day, he's in Ohio and he homesteaded in Florida. Well, I hope you haven't homesteaded in both areas because they will find you. They will track you down. So if you're a resident here, you have a Florida driver's license, you have bills for the house where you're living, yeah, you can go down and homestead the property and then go to Ohio during the summer when it's hot here. But that doesn't make, that's a reverse snowbird. A snowbird is somebody who lives up north and comes here for the winter. So he made a comment on my video from the other day where I said, you can't be a resident of another state and claim homestead here. So I hope that gentleman hasn't done that because it's a huge mistake and they will track you down. So told you about the one there. This is the one that's in the Del Webb in Parish. Again, it's basically the same model home as the one in Del Webb Lakewood Ranch. We have it under contract and no pool. And it backs up to a preserve area. You can see some of that right here. Okay. So that one took a little longer because what are we seeing in these areas? The one in Osprey that I told you about, that is very close to the Welland Park area, which is absolutely exploding. Master plan community. So do people want to buy a 1998 house that they need to remodel, or do they want to go buy a brand new home? Everything in, all new appliances, new air conditioner, new roof, new water heater, new everything, and they're picking the colors, or do they want to remodel a home? That's a huge thing going on here now because there's so much new construction. So if you come on the market as a resale, you absolutely have to be priced for the market that we're heading into, not where we were in 2022. That's why you see all these decreases in prices, because people are overpricing their homes and they got a ton of competition around them, especially new construction. This home is in North River Ranch Parish, that this Del Webb is not even completely built out yet. All right. So there's still opportunity for new construction there. So it takes a while because people, for one thing, the community is so new, they don't even realize to ask, are there resales in here? So unless you get online, which the buyers who are buying this home, that's what they did. They got online. They had been to the community. They knew they wanted to live there. They didn't want to wait for new construction. They found this one. They called me. I'm like, let's go. And they loved it. And it's under contract. Okay. So those are some factors that are really, really happening in our market. It's not 2008. We're not heading for a mortgage crisis because remember, the vast majority, just like me, my mortgage is at 3.22%. Okay. I don't want to sell, but I wouldn't sell and get something at 6.5%. I wouldn't do it. So as the population is aging, we're seeing that. My neighborhood, I live in an area called Palm Air. We used to joke about Palm Air. It's where old people's parents lived. Well, the old people's parents are moving on. In one way or another, they're moving on. The guy across the street, he went to live with his family. Straight across the street, he passed away. So things are turning over and people are coming in and buying up these homes. Okay. We have one just down the street. It was on the market, I believe it was 4 or 5 days. Nice house, about the size of mine, pool, same lake, really, really nicely remodeled, sold for $695. I think it was on the market 4 or 5 days. All right. So different areas, different pricing. You have to be aware of that. You have to be aware if you're a seller, are you competing against new construction? What's the vibe in your particular community? Okay. As a former appraiser and a realtor, what I like to do is basically pull up the zip code and homes that compare in size if you're selling a home, or I would do this if you're buying a home. So for that zip code, what are prices selling for per square foot for homes that compare to you? There's a low end, there's an average, and there's a high end. So what are they selling for? So then what we do, we start getting closer and closer and closer. If your particular neighborhood has enough sales in it, we can just stay right within your neighborhood and figure that out. The home that I showed you that's in Osprey, one down the street, sold for $890. Okay. Completely remodeled home. All right. So what do buyers do? They're going to evaluate and they're going to say, okay, for me to acquire this house, I need to put this much money and then this much money into it, buy it for this much, put this much money into it. And then what am I going to do? Is it a rental? Am I flipping it? Are my parents going to live here? What am I going to do? So what's the acquisition cost of that house? So they're buying it for a particular price. They'll probably put 150 in that house. They could easily, to remodel, put a new roof on it. They could do that. So what is that acquisition cost? You have to know that for your neighborhood. And when you buy, you have to be with somebody that can tell you all these things. What are homes selling for in this condition, this age, in this community? All right. So it's not 2008. We're not having a mortgage crisis. Interest rates are higher than they were in 2008, I believe. I don't remember exactly what they were back then, but remember, you could get a loan just saying, if you had a heartbeat, that was the joke. If you had a heartbeat, you could get a mortgage back then. Okay. I hope this was helpful. I think I sound like I'm ranting, and I am somewhat. But if you have questions, you can get a hold of me. If you're on YouTube, my information is down below. If you're a baby boomer and I'm emailing you, my information is there. My email address, my phone number. You can call me. You can text me with questions. If you're in Ohio, don't tell me you're homesteaded down here because I don't care. But let me answer questions for you. I'm here to help you out. It's an ever-evolving real estate market. There's lots of changes coming through. So get with an agent that knows what they're doing. Okay. I'm here for you. I hope I get to talk to you sometime in the future. God bless, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.